There's no doubt about it. He's looking down on him. And he's saying, son, I like what I see. Shushu Carrington, no doubt a blue chip prospect, I should say. Lots of skills. When I look at him, you know, it's like the kid has night goggles on. He just sees everything coming, you know, from inside the pocket. That's where he does most of his work, mid-range to inside. And as you can see, the elusiveness already making all those jabs miss from Contreras.
He's more seasoned than his age and record show at 8-0 with 5 knockouts. I describe him as precise, sharp, focused, consistent. He knows how to work the range, and he's strong. Kid's got everything.
Yes, he does.
And he's got a swagger about him. Been doing interviews since he was a kid, and you can tell with his demeanor and how he handles himself. But Contreras, he's a 7-year pro facing his 3rd undefeated opponent. He says, look, I started boxing at 13 because my dad was a boxer. And my style is a more refined Mexican style. I'm not just a brawler. I had feints, I use my legs, I box a little bit, and he lets his hands go, Tim.
Yep, he's like a Morales. Morales, that's the way Morales was. He wasn't your typical, you know, Hispanic fighter. I mean, he had the heart, he showed it, but, you know, he boxed. He set up his attacks.
Carrington with that stiff jab.
Nice little frame right there. Carrington showing his strength in the inside. He was trying to frame something. He didn't get the chance to frame it up there, but trust me, he will go back to that. But that's what he was looking for, the right hand over that jab.
And he set up a nice right uppercut, did Shushu. Contreras putting the pressure on, digging to the body.
A lot of those punches are being blocked. That shot right there landed for Contreras. Beautiful shot right there from him. It looked like he was fading out and fading away. Shushu was getting ready to walk forward, and he shot the right hand right over the top.
There's that stab jab from Shushu.
but Shushu stayed low doing that. I've never seen that before. Stayed low, shooting the jab, and he shot it 3 times to the body.
Nice combination punching from Contreras, who owns his own gym. Cachorro Boxing out there in Monterrey, Mexico. Been with his trainer since the amateur days. Was part of the state team out in Monterrey, Nuevo León. And he's been with them since he turned pro. Being considered one of the next great prospects in the sport can come with a lot of pressure, and while that might be too much for some, Shushu Carrington, well, he embraces it. Zach Judah for his roughness and Daniel Jacobs for his punch output. So a lot of tough, great fighters, including Mike Tyson, came out of that area. Riddick Bowe and so many more.
Great.
Can Shushu Carrington carry the torch of Brownsville, Brooklyn?
Oh, yeah, and he's doing it right now in this fight. He's carrying the torch with his jab. Getting that thing working.
Great defense responsibility from Shushu.
It
and then
is.
The double right to the body sets up the overhand right.
It's interesting because, you know, those shots don't, you know, they're not really like hard shots coming from Contreras. But the way and ability that he's able to catch those shots, all the shots that he's throwing on his gloves and not be moved and still be able to keep his eyes focused and centered on countering opportunities is unbelievable to me, especially with 8 fights underneath his belt, this being his 9th.
His length as a fighter, 72-inch arm length, allows him to not only protect the head like he's doing there, but the body at the same time. That's such a great advantage for a long featherweight like Shushu Carrington, who now is digging to the body of Antonio Contreras.
You know who had the same advantage was Winky Wright. That was a freakish long arms, can cover up in front of you, block, and then hit you with a jab on the way out.
Yep. Shushu with a 2.5-inch reach advantage over 5'7" on Angel Contreras. Cachorro means cub. Nice right hand. He's the cub because his dad was a fighter. Shushu's got such a quick right hand.
Quick right hand, nice uppercut on the inside. You know, I seen him vary his right hands. Every now and then he'll dig down to the body, and you see right there just reacting. That's called catching and shooting. But this time it just wasn't one shot. He actually released a plethora of punches, I should say.
Coming into the fight, Contreras had 91 rounds compared to 39 rounds for Shushu Carrington. Advantage of 52 rounds, more experience, and 13 more fights.
Good draw him out of there.
See, that's Shushu's groove right there. You know, he don't mind covering up, and you know, he's good at deflecting punches and things. But there's a lot of missed opportunities that I see from the outside where he can take advantage of those long arms. And I'm seeing Contreras in times lunging forward with his shots. And Shushu can make him pay over the top with punches, but he's not right now. He's comfortable blocking shots and countering.
You're talking about Shushu's groove, but what groove do you see in Anderson? And take us to the lab.
Maybe or they will.
It's called a shuffle when it works, and it calls pulling straight back when it doesn't.
Well, what happened? Yeah. Well, what happens is that when you pull and then you shuffle your feet, you back. You at the right range. You're allowing that punch to fall short. But if you just pull from being a little bit too close, now you're in range for something long, a right hand or a left hook.
That'll be tonight's main event against Andrei Rudenko on ESPN beginning at 10:30 Eastern. Our first fight on the network will feature Efe Ajagba taking on Jan Kosobutsky, the undefeated Kazakhstani 34-year-old who's 19-0 with 18 knockouts, riding a 12-fight knockout streak.
I'm gonna tell you right now, that's a fight that you don't want to miss. You know, that can very well be the fight of the night. You know, each guy has what it takes to beat the other fighter.
And you're talking Kosobutsky against Efe Ajagba in our ESPN opener at 10:30 Eastern on ESPN. Nice combination counter from Shushu Carrington. He's in a groove.
I get excited because I just love the move. I'm not cheerleading. I just love great offense and defense together. You know, you rarely see that. You know, you saw it earlier with Usyk, the way he was able to put his offense and defense together against Dubois, and you're seeing it here with Shushu Carrington with Contreras.
And I just saw something that reminded me of Terrence Crawford, Errol Spence fight. The physical strength of Shushu there with Contreras trying to push him back and him holding his ground.
Yes, holding his ground, standing his ground and saying, you're not going to push me back. I'm in control. And that sends a message to your opponent as well.
Absolutely.
Sends a message. Ooh, look at that. Getting off onto the angle right there.
That double jab sets up the right for Shushu Carrington.
Let go of his arm. Let go. Let go. Stop, break, step back.
In case you're wondering, Shushu means the one who rises above all in Egyptian, and that's the nickname for the fighter out of Brownsville, New York. Look at that defensive prowess. Pairing punches, catching him with the gloves.
Stop, off his head.
Man, I'm telling you, it's the first time I've ever seen 3 jabs in a row down to the body. It's unreal. He stays low, he squats down, he gets low, and he uses 3 jabs to the body. It's unbelievable to me.
Woo, how about that stick?
Shotgun jab right there.
Speed, power, precision.
You don't need it. He's hydrated. He's comfortable. He's relaxed.
That's what I figured. It was a positive.
It's a positive thing.
Absolutely.
It's not a.
No.
It's just like, I don't need any water. I mean, you still should take a sip, clear your mouthpiece out.
It just catches my attention because when I see that, I'm like, oh man, he's dialed in.
Yeah.
The opposite of that is dude slobbering all over himself, getting the water in there.
That's what I used to do, slob all over it. I used to get water, man. For some apparent reason, I always had to wash my mouth out. I think each fight is different.
Yep. Whatever it takes.
See, it's not a whole lot of openings for. See, Shushu's not giving Contreras a whole lot of openings. You know, when he does let his hands go, oh my goodness, look at that. Up and down, switching, going to the left, going to the right, going down to the body, stepping back. It's good work, but what I'm saying, he's just so tight with his defense and defense after his counters. It's hard to land something. So he usually lands or attempt to land something when Shushu is standing still and covering up in the pocket like this. It's discouraging. It really is. And Contreras is standing in this fight, and Contreras has got a little high guard of his own. And he's coming back there in spots. He did well. He landed a few shots, but Shushu is trying to open up Contreras. He's trying to look for the left hook to the body. That's what he's looking for. He's trying to set it up.
Contreras trying to land from the outside. Now trying to get more intimate on the inside, but he's made to pay for that.
You know, different fighters you're able to do that with, but I'm going to tell you right now what a problem could come for Shushu. Maybe not. I don't know. When you get in there with a guy that has punching power, I'm talking about heavy hands, and you got to make them miss. You're not going to be looking to catch anything. You're going to be looking to get underneath those things, because although your hands are up, those shots are still penetrating. You're still feeling that energy go into you.
Long featherweight at 5'8", 72-inch reach. Shushu Carrington, tough to break down. And that's the challenge that Angel Antonio Contreras, El Cachorro, is faced with here in Tulsa, Oklahoma, as round 4 comes to a conclusion.
If he can take him out, because you saw those names right there, and none of these guys were able to take him out.
Absolutely. And the other plan was for July 1st to be a fight between Jared Anderson and Jean Kosobutsky, who was not able to acquire a visa in time to travel to Toledo, Ohio. Might have been a blessing in disguise, as now he's taking on F.A. Ajagba, and Anderson is facing Rudenko in tonight's main event. Good jab once again from Shushu Carrington.
So that's what I like. When Shushu uses his jab, he can control the outside, and he can set up punches from the outside and counters. The one thing, he has great defense, he has great eyes, but I could just tell you this: if he was to counter more and more often, he will literally shut down everything that Contreras is trying to do. But you see, you give him hope when you sit still. I know a lot of those shots are not landing, but he's still putting energy into you. Understand that?
Angel Contreras' corner, Armando Cerda Salinas, is asked for body work, but that means he opens himself up to a counter right. You see the quick hands of Shushu Carrington, who lands about 7 unanswered punches.
And so another thing that this defense does right here in the inside, when he goes into the high guard, is it allows your opponent to hit you and hit you on the arms and so on and so forth. But you allow him to wear down a bit, exert a lot of energy. And that's what Shushu's looking for. He's looking for a low point in that offense and looking for any holes he can exploit.
See the angles that Shushu creates, especially from this overhead shot here at the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino in Tulsa. The defensive responsibility and quick Cobra-like counter from Shushu Carrington with that overhand right. And there the feint, and it was pretty much, now what am I going to do? And he could do whatever he wanted.
Honestly, whatever he wants. Shushu fighting at this pace and being under this control, he's literally ready for 10 rounds right now. You know, he's not even breathing in there at all.
No, I'm playing devil's advocate for you, Tim, because there's a crop of amazing young fighters. We just saw Abdullah Mason earlier tonight. Top Rank has so many great blue chip prospects, a lot of them on your, double stamp list. The fact that he doesn't always go for the knockout. He's got 2 straight decision wins. Is that something that, or he's got 2 stoppages after 2 decision wins, but does he have to look for?
still has a few rounds to go to soften this man up, but he's fighting a veteran tonight. And as he gains more and more.
That's where he wants to be because of the sparring, because that city just breeds boxing. And he's there with Kay Karoma, his trainer, and it's just a different vibe. Everybody goes through those gyms, puts you to the test and puts you through the paces.
Yeah, you can't, I mean, how you expect to get better? You know, it's like you want your kids to go to the best schools, you know, with the best teachers, to get the best knowledge, right? Same thing. I mean, you want to go where you can gain the most knowledge and you're being challenged. That's important. That's part of development. You have to be challenged in the gym. It's the way you get better.
I mean, his conditioning, he says, I love the fact that I'm not in New York where I got to go up to the Poconos, drive over 2 hours. From Vegas, it's a 40-minute drive up to Mount Charleston, get my altitude training in, and you see just, he's not even breathing hard.
I'm letting you know right now that I think that this young man is special. His patience, poise, the way he's picking his shots, not rushing. He's in total control. He knows exactly where Contreras is all the time. He's a special fighter.
You might say he's outboxing Contreras. Look at the right cheekbone of Contreras. That is not just boxing. That's a jab that's as stiff as they come and punishing.
But see, these are like, I call these like slow deaths. You know, you're beating on him. You're taking everything away from him. Everything he does is not good enough. And then you're just pounding on him. You see, and you start wearing them down and you start beating on them mentally. That's what it is. You beat on them mentally and physically at the same time.
That body work.
Man, did he just do 3 left hooks?
Yep. That's for you to marvel after the 3 jabs, now 3 left hooks.
I haven't seen that since Roy Jones. 3 left hooks in a row like that?
That's just total disregard for anything your opponent has for you.
He's doing whatever he wants in the ring right now.
And one thing I always notice with Shushu, the eyes. The way he just pulled and countered there.
He got the goggles on, I told you.
You did say that.
I told you, he got the night goggles on. He sees everything coming. That's what's special about this young man, his eyes.
Like RoboCop, right?
Yeah.
Like, he's computing in there, and by the time you throw it, he's already got something coming back for you.
And he's smart too. You sit and talk boxing with him. Very knowledgeable.
You should call him Bruce Shushu AI Carrington. Artificial intelligence, man. Although for him, it's natural. It's instinctive. It's who he is. It's who he was born to be. Look at that slapping right shot. And then the left hook. Made his pro debut at age 21 in January of 2016. Shushu Carrington made his debut at age 24 in October of 2021.
So how you know when a guy is special? He has elite concentration. Elite. Guys like Crawford, Mayweather, Pacquiao. I mean, the guys, it's hard to deter them and get them off their game. That's what I see with this young man right here. Supreme concentration, never messing around in there, understanding every move, why he's doing it, what he's doing at all times, under control.
And you know the other thing, Tim? When a guy goes back to the corner, acknowledges the instruction and has a conversation about what he's seeing as well.
Yes.
He's reading the game consistently or constantly and adjusting. Now, Contreras didn't come to lay down, and that's why we are now in the 7th round of an 8-round fight.
Contreras is getting outclassed, totally outclassed. Now, if Shushu had that one punch, one hit quitter, oh, of course, that will help his stock even more.
Ooh, look at that liver shot.
But to the boxing purists, the ones that love skills, instead of 2 guys in there throwing rock'em sock'em robot type of punches, they appreciate work that Carrington's doing right now.
Well, the other thing is he's in the pocket. He's not running. He's not.
No.
He's in there throwing his shots, looking for those openings, if not creating those openings. Look at that feint.
And you see Contreras got on his bike because he didn't like what he saw. See, we talk about experience all the time. And
that left uppercut, Tim. Go ahead. Experience.
Experience. So how can I make it live for you? You know, if you go down the street, this one particular street, you know, the little dog, the little chihuahuas don't come out running after you.
Yeah.
Then you know you got to take a different detour. The same thing happens in the ring. Like you see certain things and you say, I've been there before. Nope, I'm not going to do that. You know what? I'm in this position. Oh, I know what can happen here. That's experience. And the more moments that you can figure that out and know what not to do, when to do it, the better off you'll be.
I'd rather use that analogy with the pit bull and say, the Chihuahua just keep walking.
Those Chihuahuas come out fast, man. You don't even hear them until they get up on you, and then they, wow. All you hear is feet coming towards you, and you're just like, oh, mama. Gotta get home.
There's that stick from Shushu. Quick combination on the inside. Lets Cachorro throw his shots and then makes him pay with the uppercut and a right hook.
And he got some toughness to him. Shushu right now just showing his toughness.
The work out there in Monterrey, Mexico. Had a long camp. And that's why he's still here in the 8th round.
He did your
Come
move.
on.
He did your move, Bernard.
Hey, don't give away my moves. The Maromero Paez.
The Maromero Paez.
So let's see if Shushu can follow the instructions that Kei Kuroma gave him. Use the jab in the early part of the round and then take it to him using angles. Ooh, jeez. That's a power jab. That's disrespectful, Tim.
No, that ain't disrespect. That's, you got to do what you got to do. He's trying to hurt you. Disrespectful.
Ooh, nice right uppercut from Shushu, going down to the body. And here comes the swagger and the meanness from Brownsville, Brooklyn, New York.
Yeah, I want to see the double left hook out.
Stop.
Get that hand raised. Yeah. Not allowing. He's trying to get head control right there. Trying to post with that shot with his lead hand. Excuse me. Referee catching it, saying, "Nah, you're leaving it out there too long." You can pick and poke, probe, but you can't leave it out there.
Body work from Shushu, right and left.
And the angles behind it.
Okay, Kuroma told him, hey, Contreras cannot handle the angles. Okay, has a clinical eye.
Don't do that.
Contreras has a big heart. Last minute of action here in our final fight on our ESPN Plus undercard. We invite you to join us on ESPN at 10:30 Eastern for our main card. The heavyweights in action.
Good valuable rounds right here for Shushu Carrington. His competition definitely has to step up. No doubt about it. This is too easy for him. You know, he doesn't feel threatened at all. Although he's still trying to find a way to soften up Contreras. I would love to see him step up his competition and be challenged a little bit more.
I mean, he said, Contreras doesn't do anything I haven't seen. He spars in Vegas with Luis Alberto Venado Lopez, who we'll see against Joel Gonzalez on September 15th. He spars with current world champion Robezi Ramirez, who we saw in Japan just recently. So he's in with some dogs in Vegas, some champs. And he is destined to be.
Decision. Chris Ritter scores the bout 80-72. Henry Ellick and Steve Morrow both have it 79-73. All in favor of your winner by unanimous decision, Bruce Shushu Carrington.
So Shushu does great work once again. We'll be back right here with our main show on